Sorry about the technical challenges. I think the rest of the comrades are going to join in. I've just shared the link. We shall be discussing as the rest join in. Comrade team, thanks for joining. You're welcome to this Twitter space, and once again, I welcome everyone. We've been having technical challenges, but now they're sorted and we can go ahead with the conversation, which is about the topic FMU at One, the lessons, successes, and prospects. As we are all aware, the movement is concluding 1 year, and of course, we registered some successes. The members have many more lessons to share, and also the likelihoods, what people see that it's most likely to happen. And I believe most of us are aware of what freedom movement is about. A youth movement working with women groups, students, and youth to build the power of the common people to act against oppression. And the rest, the members are going to be sharing. Yeah, I will briefly share about our vision and mission as brief remarks as most of the members join. So the vision of freedom movement is to build the power of the ordinary people to act against social, economic, and class oppression. And our mission is to frontline the struggle of upholding freedom and social justice for all through mass education, capacity building, constructive programs, and strategic non-violence resistance. So those are our mission and vision. I believe it is also important for all of us to be aware of these two. They are very, very crucial for movement and its members to be to take as a priority the vision and mission. So I've shared those, and the most interesting bit of it, the strategic nonviolent resistance, and that is our pillars, Freedom Movement Uganda. We frontline struggles that are nonviolent, and we also organize struggles that are nonviolent. So we believe that nonviolence or direct action or civil resistance is powerful in our daily struggles of freedom, human rights, and change. So, Comrade Beats, Comrade Sir Ahmad has joined us. I'm sending a mic. Kindly accept the mic and join the discussion. Our guest speakers will be joining in later. I hope they're able to, because we've been having challenges with connectivity. However, I've shared the links. I believe they will be joining in. So, as our speaker Batanda gets the mic, we shall strictly be discussing about the lessons, or as you, the members of Freedom Movement, what experiences have sparked or have you had, what experiences have you had during this 1 year? As we close this 1 year, we all have experiences from the past activities of the movement, and kindly share your experiences, and then as you merge them with the lessons you've learned from organizing with Freedom Movement Uganda. So, Comrade Bits, could you please unmute and be sharing with us? As SAB is accepting the invitation. I've sent an invitation. Kindly accept the mic and also join the discussion. Comrade Team Patience, thanks for joining. I hope you'll be following through. And in case you have any submission, kindly, we shall also accept the mic to you such that you can share with us. Okay, let me start right with Comrade Beats. You could share as also the rest join. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Comrade Clear, the host for today. Greetings to everyone. I see Comrade Atim Patience and Sab, that's Batanda. I also would like to take the opportunity to thank you for joining in our today's Twitter space that is more of commemorating or marking the first year anniversary of the freedom movement Uganda, which started in 2000. That's 2022. Around 15th June. Yeah, 15th June. That's when the idea came up, and most of the people, most of our colleagues were really united or really pleased to come up and put this idea into life just like it is now. Um, I would also want to thank all the members who've really given in their own, who've given in their sacrifices. You know, it hasn't been an easy journey from the start. Having most of our members being part of political institutions or being part of political offices and deciding or coming up to take a step that now we are not doing politics anymore. This politics ain't taking us nowhere. It ain't doing any good to our society. Rather, we can come up and put on a marking stone or a stepping stone that can really entirely change the entire society, our country, our continent, that's Africa, and even the world at large. As we believe, the members of freedom movement, we do affirm that the struggle we are onto uh, empowering the people to come up and act against the socio-economic and class oppression in their lifetime. It's not only in our country, but we believe this is going to be pushed beyond borders, and later on we see ourselves changing the world at large. Because uh, briefly, one thing that inspired me was this cause of need of humanity into our societies that we live in. You know, where I remember there's one time we were sharing around, and one comrade said that uh, back in the days when someone could lose a relative, you know, or lose a friend in the village, the whole community would gather around, you know, everything would be paused. But lately, everyone is on his own. You know, hope you understand that everyone now cares about himself, whether a neighbor dies, you know, sometimes the neighbor can even die, your next neighbor, but everyone will be running to their their farms, to their workplaces, which wasn't in the start. So I think it took this cause so as we could see how to change or impact the lives in our society, socially, and even empower them economically to fight, you know, to fight for those oppressive ways that uh, always impacted them by the government, also by the state. You know, you can talk of the deteriorating prices, you know, yeah, the heavy taxes as well. So we do believe by doing this, we shall be more of empowering them, you know, giving them that knowledge and that understanding, that skill, much as we ourselves be developing ourselves to also come up and uh, act wisely. Just like Comrade Kira was saying, we do all this uh, with a non-violent strategy. We don't believe in killings. We don't believe in any need of destruction of property or taking away lives, but we really believe in keeping lives, and we do believe that each and everyone uh, out there is really needed for the betterment of our country, for the betterment of our continent, that's Africa, and the world at large. Every human being in the world has his own cause to put on. So, only care I could share this for now, as we can continue with the discussion. Maybe can also get to hear from Sub or Comrade Sub what she's saying. Yes, as we continue to engage and wait for the rest of the members to join in. Thank you. Back to you, Comrade Claire.
Thank you, Beats, for a great sharing, some of your inspirations and your experiences. However, we would like to, as Comrade SAB gets the mic, Brian, we would like to hear your experiences with the uh, the freedom to its vision and the activities in regards because some of the programs of freedom movement have been around strategic nonviolent resistance, which includes direct actions, non-cooperation, constructive programs, capacity building, which includes training on nonviolent. Brian, maybe you could again kindly unmute and share with us some of the deeper experience you just shared about inspiration, but would also love to hear the deeper experience and as well lessons you take from that experience you've had with Freedom Movement Uganda. Then SAB will come in later.
Yes, thank you, Comrade Claire, the host of tonight. Mm, I must say that it wasn't an easy experience. It was a great experience in all, having to learn lots of ideas and engaging with different uh, activists around the world. Because before, I personally wasn't into this part of activism, didn't know anything about activism at all, didn't know what activists do. But I must say, when Freedom at Uganda came up, believe it opened some good doors, some great ideas, and a deeper understanding of more what an activist is and how great an activist is, or he can impact the lives of the other people. And I personally do believe in also impacting, changing lives of different people and associating, with the community and the people we always live in. But being alone is also not doing these activities personally. On the other hand, it becomes difficult. But once you are in a group or in a movement of people running around with the same ideas and the same vision that you also look to, or you also build on to achieve, it ignites your energy and your power to continue on with the struggle at large. And also when you go into the political situation in our society, learning to know that some of the things that actually take place in our societies are also due to the or caused by the I can't call them mistakes because at times they are intentional of the people at the top that we always want to hold the grip onto their power. He called them the dictator, and all he cares about is him staying there on top, and the the rest of us, we have to endure the suffering. So, or endure the culprit, what comes out of his you know struggle to stay on power. You can hear of the murders, the killings that always come up. People, because recently you can know the poverty rate in our country is also increasing highly, and when you talk of the joblessness, that's also up you know so I believe with this movement, it's really opened up my mind to come and understand such that's taking place in our society, and then not only opening up my mind, but it creates such image. For example, the programs that are up, that each and everyone can get involved in them and can really give a hand in changing the society, not only looking onto the government or the big people that are out there only waiting for them to come and service us, but we as the people can also come up and we do, or put on put our hands on together to work for the betterment of our lives, within the society. It's not about any uh, leader, or it's not about the politics, it's not about the parties we belong to, it's not about, but it's still back to us as the people, how we stay in the society. So I think I sharing this for now. I'm ready to share more if if requested. Comrade Claire, back to you. Thank you.
Powerful. Thank you, Brian. SAB, kindly unmute and share with us.
Thank you, Comrade Claire. Thank you, the host. Thank you, Freedom Movement. Viva Freedom Movement Uganda. Viva Power, Power, Power. For clarity, I'm Seguja Ahmed. Yes, a member. I want to believe and hope people can be in position to hear me well because I'm kind of traveling. I'm just stuck somewhere, but I'm still on the way for the purpose to address this and to join in you people in commemorating our first anniversary. So, Madam Host, I don't know whether people are in position to hear from me so that I can proceed.
Yes, please, we can hear you well.
Yeah, Freedom Movement Uganda started just like any other movement, but with a strong ambition. We have been a Ugandan youth-led movement working with a network of students, I believe, young women groups. Remember the Women Network, the and young professionals in Freedom Movement Uganda. We have teachers like engineers, Comrade John. We have other professionals working around with us, and we have been surviving with that, plus other well-wishers who have been joining on through the way. Among the successes I want to acknowledge and accept is that, like any other movement that starts with passion.
Comrade SAB, before sharing on the successes, can you please share a bit of your experience with freedom movement, maybe the activities you took part in, and
Okay, okay.
uh,
Luckily enough, I was part of the first people who joined Freedom Movement Uganda. I did not jump. Yes, I might not have been among the brainstorms or the brains behind it, but I believe we were part and parcel in its upcoming. One of the experiences I got with it is the continued love for learning. I've been able to keep learning and keep adding on what I know from the Freedom Movement Uganda. It has a veiled platform for one to learn. This has been through the continued book reviews we have been getting, uh, the maximum attention given to people to be informed. This is one of the experiences I've got. The other is there has been an opportunity to learn to work around with others. You know, the movement we are trying to fight and change one of the constituencies of Africa, that is Uganda. And by so doing, we are working around with others from different aspects, from different communities, from different religions, people of different gender. But as a movement, it has given us opportunity to work around with these people, to associate with them. Who knew that I can be part of the people who can sit in classes with Comrade Awadi? Comrade Awadi Mwalimu, I sit in Swahili classes, and I think when we meet with him now, I can speak Swahili, and he asks, "Are you my student or you are not?" Maybe you can call me his teacher now. But then, among other experiences, is that it needs commitment. Yes, this one I'm still learning to go with it, but it needs commitment with experience people have shown that they have generated from the movement. I personally have been on and off, but I pledge to get back on board so that I don't miss out on that. The other is there is some adventure in doing this. Fighting oppression and fighting economic and social class oppression is not all about getting guns, going to the streets, destabilizing communities, but you do things with passion and love and fun. When you come to the campfires, you learn, go back, influence communities, let people understand the message, come back, share with others. These are the simple experiences we've been getting from the freedom movement Uganda, Madam Host. I will be in position to share others as they come on.
Wow, this is so powerful. Thank you, SAB, for sharing. And your last statement was the most powerful, where you shared about doing things with love without causing violence. And in our introductory remarks, we talked about freedom movement as a champion, as a movement that is championing civil resistance or non-violent resistance. Uh, it is very, very powerful that you've also spoken about it as your experience and as part of the things you enjoyed most. That is very, very powerful. Thank you for sharing. I'll come to Comrade John and welcome him to also share with us.
Well, thank you. First, also we apologize all participants for this. There are so many people wanted to go integrate. We wouldn't be able to organize this area as scheduled. But me, my interest would be first of all at defining anyone who will listen in our listeners what freedom movement is. I believe the short bio that was included the handle not here now. Many people may not get the time to explore all the information on our website. I will encourage them to get time, visit our website and also read about what is freedom movement is a youth led movement that aims empowering ordinary people take action. The key word there is take action. Must say, to a certain level, very many people understand, the good friends of Ugandans, even ourselves, we understand this problem down to the grassroots, be it the youths, ourselves, be it the women, be it the elderly, be it everyone, all understand, be it the politicians, all understand, all understand. And we are good at articulating, even commenting. Then the only thing that in that which we cannot blame about it, that every individual tries their level best, do something, good situations, bad situations. But what is most important, it would be the action grassroots for the because the hopes of the ordinary people sometimes don't lie in those public figures, friends, video activists, but every citizen, every oppressed Uganda could be an activist their own way to make it better our society. So I think that is important. Those among the cohorts that inspired us, just like the way Comrade Watanda just said that among the team that pushed us. Think in the beginning, all our focus was seeing the ordinary Ugandans, the women down there in the market, better people, taxi drivers, traders, raising to take action against. And it still remains. That's our vision, that it's solid beyond even the transition or the revolution. But we're looking at a force of people that can safeguard even their human rights and the democracy, even in the aftermath of it. So that's something that inspired our vision, and we still fight on to that. We have seen so many revolutions that in the end, people go back to normalcy, and then even the oppression goes back to its initial stages. So must make sure that do something. So freedom movement, its vision is to empower the ordinary people, take action against oppression through capacity building, through mass education, through strategic non-violence. As we have done, yes, we have done almost something, or we have taken action in all those areas. We have invested in capacity building, just like my brothers just said. And then we have organized strategic non-violence once, twice. We have continuously organized mass education or education schools, the spheres of human rights, spheres of civil resistance, so many others. So it is important to whoever who listen us understand how we have been pushing or moving to achieving our vision in the day. So how do we move to achieving what we want or to fulfilling our mission? So we have different programs which have been designing, which programs are aimed at fulfilling video objectives. So this is what we thought in the beginning, and this is what we thought would make us vision. These are not individual ideas. These have been ideas from so many, and we have always given a shot to any idea that comes, as we know that there is no time that is scheduled for the revolution. The revolution can happen on time, but also it is important to note that not any event that can cause a revolution, but also any event can lead to a revolution. So that is important. So it is important that we give a shot to any idea or any suggestion members will bring on board. And that's how we have had our campaigns program. So these programs and campaigns are geared to meeting objectives, which objectives are oriented towards us fulfilling our vision. So among our objectives, we have one of empowering people with the best knowledge about their rights. Just that the way we know the problems in the society, that sometimes people tend to feel that maybe it is their sole responsibility as why they're living the situations they're living in. So it was important for us to push on, make sure that whenever we get a chance, we can empower the people with knowledge about their rights. It was also important to realize that through programs, reconstructive programs, we would have an opportunity for people to understand uh, their fundamental rights. Like anyone would feel that it's not a right for them to have clothes. Like anyone would feel like it's not a right for them to have food, that it's their sole responsibility. But it is important also to note that the duty bearers have a role to ensure that every citizen gets access to clothing, gets access to food, gets access to education, so on and so forth. So it is important. So that's why it was important for us to realize that through constructive programs can have a touch, all the people, the grassroots people can have a realization that, that they have their right, the fundamental rights, and that is the access to the basic needs. Then objective number 2 was to build a self-reliant community with a sense of freedom and social justice. It is important to note that if our communities are not self-reliant, at the end of the day, they cannot liberate themselves. That's why each and every day we cry of the issue of buyouts, we cry of the issue of handouts, because our communities are not self-reliant, or they don't have the belief that they can live on their own or they can rely on their own. So it was important to dissect the issue of self-reliance of the communities. That once communities are self-reliant, then politicians cannot buy off our people, cannot silence the people. But if the people are not self-reliant, then they can be silenced by handouts, then they can be silenced. So it is important that in our cause, we chose to strive or to struggle to make people realize their capacity, that they can rely on one another to survive. But it was also important to note that there is survival before the revolution, that people cannot commit 24 hours in the revolution without what to eat, without accommodation, without the basic necessities. So that is important, that as we push on the struggle against oppression, must also not take away the attention or the consideration of the needs of the people survive daily basis. These are young people or the younger men who are having families, who are having responsibilities, so they cannot solely commit their time in resistance against oppression without what to eat, without winning a bread for their family. So it is important when we build a community where one can stand in for the other, or where those who have much can provide to those who don't have, that they can also afford to commit their time to push the fight against oppression. So that was important for us to realize that in all what we are doing, we must build a community of people who are self-reliant, that those who have much can afford to give those who don't have, that they can also realize that there is a sense of social justice whatever they're doing. So we cannot choose to ignore the fact that the people we are pushing with the revolution, our comrades, our brothers, they have these needs, and these are reality which have to be met on a daily basis or in the present situation. And then the third objective that we have been driving at, it has been building capacity of the ordinary people in using non-violent actions, strategies, and the fight for their rights. Yes, it is true. We cry that why are not Ugandans taking any action? Why are they not saying anything? But what do we want them to do? Yeah, the fact is that some of these things really they can be earned through shared experiences or through those who have more knowledge to share with others. So if we say that maybe citizens should rise against this, so what do we want them to do? I must believe that sometimes the ordinary people reach out or end up having no alternative or having no options, even if they would want to do something. But what they know, maybe it has been explored several times, maybe it has not worked out, or even if it cannot, it can work, you realize that the risks are so high that most of the ordinary people cannot afford to take the risks. So the question is, do we take time to empower our people? We take time to empower the ordinary people on what they can do in resistance against oppression, or we think that when we just follow them, they can just rise and take action. That is literally impossible. So that has been one of other objectives which we have been looking at. Make sure that we can build the capacity of ordinary people, that people within their communities can always organize to resist against oppression, but using non-violent action. So that has been very, very important. And we can all attest to the fact of the power of non-violent actions. And there has also been the confusion of peaceful means and then non-violent actions. So these are things we must dissect to the grassroots people to understand the path that they must take such that they can solve their problems, the past of their rights, starting from their basic rights. And then our last objective was basically to trigger non-violent direct action against oppressive conditions. Because we believe that once people are empowered with the knowledge and they have understood what they have to do, how to do it, then definitely in the face of oppression, we don't even need to tell people to rise. That's the fact. People themselves can rise and they can resist any form of oppression, starting from their fundamental rights. But why people always need the leaders to come out to tell them what to do? Because I must assume that people are not sure. To those who are aware, and majority are not aware of what to do, and maybe you may say non-violence, but it may end up in the elite class or the political class or in the class of the activists. So that has been important at us to move. So at the inception or in the beginning, we thought that that was paramount in our moving, and there are so many lessons and of course challenges and successes that we must have noted. And we believe that as we have moved, to those who have interacted with some of our activities, some of our campaigns, yeah, their views are paramount. But as we push in next year, we must make sure that we push further at making sure that we get a bigger magnitude of the realization of our. So to me, I can say the year moved, it has been work in exploring our objectives, and I must believe we are sure of how far we can go. But then we are not saying that we are the epitome of knowledge or organizing. So to our participants and any people who listen to this, if they feel like there's something that we need to do much more than that, or some ingredients we may need to integrate into our objectives, our strategies, the way I would do it, then also welcome. So I think I'll be submitting for now. That's all what I wanted to elaborate more about freedom movement and how we have been doing it. And the rest, I believe my comrades have submitted it. So unless when there are specific questions on other areas, then I will be able to answer. But I want to thank you for hosting this, and I want to thank Comrade Dundin. I want to thank whosoever will be able to listen to this, and your feedback will do us uh, so much better, and will be fuel in our next year of pursuing our journey, empowering the ordinary people. So I'll beg to submit that. Thank you.
Thank you, John, for the clear elaboration about the movement. Allow me welcome comrades Engineer Tony and Comrade Kalyango Ali. Thanks for joining the discussion. I hope you're able to get something, and kindly, in case of any idea or any submission, kindly note them and you share to the audience in the coming minutes. Comrade John, you've shared a lot more in detail about Freedom Movement Uganda, and you shared about the objectives and what Freedom Movement Uganda has been doing, what it's about. And could you please share more about the successes in regards to the objectives, the successes the movement has registered in the past 1 year in regards to the objectives?
Well, thank you, our host. One, I must say, from the beginning of it, that's to power go with the basic knowledge about the fundamental rights. I think we are on our way, although we are not yet there. But I think we have tried to make sure that consistently do that, where we can make people realize or understand their basic or their fundamental rights. I think that has been important. But in addition, we have not learned when it came to building the capacity of the members and whosoever takes part in our initiative. So our initiatives have been much more focused on education because we believe that when people acquire knowledge, then they can be able to transmit or to disseminate this to people. More so in the areas of getting youths about their role in the system, the operation in their communities, their strategic advantage, educating the women, educating the students themselves. I think that's the first beginning, the first stage, away from them realizing their rights. So it is important for them to realize what they can do in really fighting back or resisting oppression. So I've done that. I've organized so many events, including trainings on what the younger people or other people can do wherever they are to make sure that they contribute to the fight against oppression for their communities. I must say that also we have been able to nurture leadership in terms of organizing against oppression. So, as Comrade Wakanda said, when we started, we were not very many, by the way. But I must believe that the number of the people today, the number of the members, is more than those started with Comrade Wakanda. I think we say something about that. But in my view, I must say the number. So now that means that we have nurtured because some of them we are able to progress. That shows progress what we are doing. But also it is important that we do not just speak about the non-violence. We have been able to organize non-violent action on the ground against Masera, that's success. Then you realize that these have been some concentrated actions, which later may be, which may be opened up to so many people. Same applies to our trainings, our educative stories. But despite that fact, they have been in place and they have impacted some people beyond our members and those who are not members, supporters, and those who are this we have been trying to pick one everything, our events, our training, our education. I can say that that is for us all what we have, homework, now expand beyond the confines which so many people also be resolve active events first of and for. So I can say that in a nutshell, I realized that at least we have tackled almost every object, and we have been able to roll out our constructive programs. These have been rolled out our community right, rolled out our living program, rolling out our community. So I must believe that yeah, these are things we are still there and even proud. So must believe that some that's these go and not these, but all of them geared towards fulfilling the vision against social credit. Thank you.
John, you're breaking off. We can't hear well. Kindly.
Well, I don't know where you stopped hearing me. Maybe you can tell me. I all I've been commenting about the topics, the specific things which we have tackled, what we have built with the problem. But all of what I was emphasizing is that the homework we are having to make sure that we open up the wider and I will engage more people that if we're talking about empowering so many elements power, then the magnitude of the force taking action gets bigger, then also the impact gets then find this to your head with the bigger magnitude of the scope. So that's what I say. Hope you able to listen. I remarks about that the first so also
Thanks a lot, John, for sharing the successful activities and programs that the movement has been able to achieve. This is very powerful, and we believe in the next year or the next other years, there will be more and more uh, achievements. Yeah, let me come to Comrade Bits as Colin gets the mic. Bits, John talked about the different nonviolent actions the movement has been able to organize, and these have really created impact within the communities. Bits, could you share about what impact you saw, or uh, what exactly you learned from these nonviolent actions? And remember, Comrade SAB, in his submission, he talked about his love on how the movement has been able to organize and arrange non-violent actions and fun, which made him comfortable, and it made him feel safe taking part in these actions and activities. So Brian, kindly share about these non-violent actions, and as well what sparked your mind in regards to these actions. Brian, you're welcome.
Thank you, our host, for that great question. First and foremost, currently the nonviolent action that we've been dealing in and we've been really giving in our own is more into the constructive resistance part of it. Just like Comrade John was sharing about capacity building and more into um, sharing that knowledge or getting close into our communities and getting to inform them on how or empower them on how they can act closely uh, against the population that is taking place in our country and in our lifetime. We have to do so much to get into these communities. Uh, if I draw our minds back on the way things were being have been taking place in our country, I believe that's why most people decided to run away into coming up to demand for their rights, to fight for what really belongs to them. You can talk of all those, if I can talk of the uh, walk to work protests, you can mention most of them. Most people got to get this a figure of activism or of protest being more into turning brutal, people being killed, people being arrested, and most people had turned down. But now, our mode of organizing or our mode of that constructive resistance brings in is this mode that will push the movement into the community, and the people get to understand exactly why they will need to come up and fight. So that's how we bring in such programs that will pull the people onto the idea to come up and back and get on ground and understand that things are not the way they are supposed to be. Yes.
Thank you, Brian. Yeah, John, I'm requesting that you also share about this about these non-violent actions, and what lessons you drew from the team conducting and organizing these actions. John, you can unmute and share with us. I think he's not able to. Comrade SAB, could you please share with us? Yeah, kindly share with us as you talked about some of the non-violent activities you took part in, and they were fun, and you felt safe. That is, of course, the power of nonviolence. That is, people feel safe while taking part in such actions, and also they are uh, low risk. They are of low risk. Could you share some of the activities that were non-violent, uh, and share also something that sparked your mind about those activities in regards to impact on the people, and yeah, in regards to impact on the people, and what really lesson you learned from them.
Uh, Thank you, Madam Host. I want to also appreciate Comrade John for sharing with us, reminding with us the objectives of the movement. Uh, Members, we are all aware that activism is not politics, as in it is not politics like they are saying and drafting it to be. It is just a direction to challenge the incompetent status quo we see in the society and environment we live in. Among the activities that are non-violent I took part in was, first of all, the basic one we had here, the online campaigns. I remember we had an online campaign. It was There is an online campaign we had of prices must fall that led people to come and even hijack and start with a diversionary hashtag. That campaign had raised dust all over the internet, and members have from the oppressor's side had to come and run so that they try to shy away from the reality. We did this from our basic means we had. We had a smartphone, we had data, we used the data to TikTok, we used the same data to WhatsApp. This time we used it to create some good noise, some positive noise on what was transpiring. I remember those days we had a liter of fuel going up to 6,000. This wasn't realistic. It is still happening, but this was economic oppression. We tried as a movement, we moved with the online hashtag. This also disbursed us to go and start the the banners, the issuing of banners and putting up posters all over. I remember if people saw those posters that were raised, the banners, displays having communications of prices must fall. People came on asking and inquiring, who are these people doing this? Who are these people doing this? Looking for people who did this, and none of them could get any. But it was done by members of the movement from their own, not being sponsored by anyone, but from the conviction they had that things must change. This kept pushing us, and this kept pushing me personally to take part in this movement, to stay around, because what do I lose? I love my constituency, like we say, it is a constituency of Africa. I love my constituency, Uganda. If it is okay, I'm okay. If it is not, no one is safe. So among the others is the Mugende Land Saga, if members can remember the Mugende Land Saga. It was just a mere Twitter space. The Fourth Estate had denied members and the victims publicity. The movement decided to intervene. We drafted letters of solidarity, statements of solidarity. There was some less impact, but still the voice reached to where we wanted it to go. Things like this keep on pushing and provoking us to stay committed to non-violence. The YouTube series of civil resistance. These have been lessons. Actually, when I go to class sometimes, I will not mention the school for safety, but there is a certain school I went to. I played one of these YouTube series about civil resistance, and someone was like, "No, master, you're teaching us politics." I said, "I'm not teaching you politics. I'm trying to inform you what is happening, where you are not, and where you are going." By so doing, I did nothing to them, but we impact on these people so that we move. When I had just joined the movement in the first workshops we had, I think it was the second, a member said, I quote, each of us should be in position to represent us all. Where one is not, the other can be. Madam Host, I believe we have had some successes. The constructive programs, we have had book reviews, Twitter spaces, the YouTube, and among others. But still, yes, like any other growing movement, we have faced some challenges. Personally, I don't want to call them failures, we don't have. But they have been challenges, and we hope we have moved around them. We have circumvented around them. According to me, I'm sorry you didn't ask this, but in a few I might be off, Madam Host. I don't know whether it might cost you and the audience if I said a few.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, you can go ahead and submit.
Thank you. I was saying, as a movement, we have been in position to run certain activities, but all these have been coming from members' individual contributions. Basically, among the challenges, I would say, has been resource mobilization. This comes in from members themselves, from their monthly subscriptions, clearing rent, clearing utilities, and working around the campaigns we usually have to make sure that the masses are informed. This is among the challenges we have been lacking, and we believe we can pick a lesson on how to circumvent around it to have a better new year ahead. The other is we have also had the challenge of political actors assuming that we came to take their space. It seems most of them have been disappointed, and in turn they will join like others have. Yeah, that's that's it for now, Madam Host. I can pause at that.
Well, thank you so much, SAB, for sharing. And it has been very powerful sharing the experiences of other non-violent actions and where you stated some of the actions that were organized and the impact. This has been very, very powerful and re-energizing. I would like to welcome Comrade John to share about the prospects as we conclude the space. Comrade John, are you able to unmute and share with us about the likelihoods or the future prospects of the movement? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay, as we wait for John to speak to us, I would like to welcome anyone from the audience to share with us. If any has a submission or a question to the speakers, kindly request for the mic. You'll be able to submit. All right, SAB, could you share about some of the prospects and we conclude the space?
Yeah, I can. For now, I can say where the movement has come from and where the movement is heading. We really want to create an impact in society. Members have to learn and eventually have to take action. But this cannot be happening minus capacity building. The movement will have to embark on more strategies on capacity building, aligning with communities and societies to make people informed of the events and occurrences of the freedom movement Uganda and how it is willing to take them up. Members should get in the basically the citizenry should take in and join in. It is non-violence as it is being had. It is basically non-violence, but there must be civil resistance to create an impact or a change. We all have that fear that what will happen when things go wrong. We presume we are doing nothing wrong. We are just doing what our rights state. As the movement, we would like to see us creating a positive change in this country. We want to fight oppression in all its different classes, be it the social class oppression, the social oppression itself, where we have land grabbing, the poor health system, what everyone knows, the poor quality of education. It might be poor, but still it is almost irrelevant. The curriculum is too theoretical. And when we talk about corruption, we as individuals and members of society, what can we do to fight all these? What does the country need to address all these happenings? I believe when all this is done, we shall have a constituency we are proud of, and this is our target as the Freedom Movement Uganda. We want a country where there is civic education, members know their rights, there is confidence among the people. We want a country where there is recruitment of qualified public servants. Members are recruited in offices because they know someone, because they have brown eyes. This is not what we want as the Freedom Movement. We want members to sit where they are sitting because they are capacitated to sit there. As the movement, we want to see ourselves empowering the masses to take action. What we mean by taking action is from an informed point of view, not from an unactivated happiness to go to the streets. But if you're informed of what you are supposed to do and why you are doing it, we shall have a constituency we all believe and we want to see forward. Yes, Madam Host.
Thank you so much, SAB. Um, could you at the same time give your conclusion or concluding remarks? And I would to give his concluding remarks in regards to that.
Yeah, in my concluding remarks, I want to thank everyone who has taken the opportunity to listen in, those who have listened in live in the space, and those who will later on listen to the audio or the recording. We are glad to be part of us, and we are still open to whoever believes that our mission, our objectives, and our vision align with the interests we want, and you believe that we still give you a view of the constituents or the country you want to see and you want to be part of. As a Freedom Movement Uganda, we are not an organization, we are just volunteers of delivering our rights in a great way. We have leadership that is not structured but is specific. We know what we do and we believe in it. Yeah, I want to thank you, Madam Host, and I want to promise and also give confidence that whenever there is an injustice, I pledge my participation to fight and address occasionally. Thank you. Power Freedom Movement, Power Freedom Movement, happy anniversary.
Powerful. Thank you so much, SAB, for the great sharing. I also want to thank each and everyone for attending this Twitter space, and those who will be listening in to the audio and also on the YouTube audio upload. I thank the speakers who have taken their time to be part amidst the technological challenges we had, and that made us to host the space a bit late. That's why you saw some of the colleagues were not able to join in again. But we believe this sharing, many are going to access it and listen to it and learn more about freedom movement and what we've been doing. John highlighted in details what freedom movement is about and what we've been doing. This has been a great discussion and a reflection from the past year we've concluded. And this remembrance of 1 year, it is a powerful moment for us and other people, and it has brought an understanding of where we are going, because our conviction continues to make us believe that we shall still continue to make impacts through the activities of non-violence, mass education, and capacity building. And I also thank the audience for listening in. And thank you. In case anyone loves to access this discussion and also other discussions we've been having, you can check on our YouTube channel of Freedom Movement Uganda. And we hope to organize more engagements like this. And thank you so much all. See you again next time. Have a blessed night.